If the 2025 NextGen user group meeting had a theme song, it would probably be Rocket Man by Elton John. Because this year, the company didn't just talk about AI innovation, they launched it. From AI co-pilots and multi-agent systems to quarterly product updates and a major rebrand, I think this was NextGen's "We have liftoff" moment. Let's get to it. Hello, Colin Hung here at the 2025 NextGen user group meeting in Nashville, Tennessee. This video is not sponsored by NextGen. They have not had any editorial input and they have no idea what I am about to say. Now, NextGen did give us a free pass to attend this conference. I want to start off this conference recap with one of the biggest announcements for NextGen customers: quarterly releases. You see, for years, NextGen's EHR updates have followed the orbit of the Earth, a predictable but kind of slow 365-day cycle. But under new CEO Sri Velamoor, NextGen is moving closer to the sun, which in this case is their customers. They're tightening the orbit and now we'll have 4 releases each year.
Yeah, I'm super excited about taking the company to be a lot more agile and setting an even more audacious aspiration for how we innovate our platform. So our strategy is largely the same. We're continuing to support independent practices in the ambulatory care world. We're going to really focus on speed and innovation. Historically, we've been operating in a platform that was on a cadence of yearly releases and upgrades. One of the big changes we're making is building in more flexibility into our platform, so every quarter we could do updates and releases that are highly impactful to our clients. So it'll be continuous innovation as opposed to big bang is one big thing. The second part of it, of course, is the industry is changing so rapidly, whether it's billing requirements, whether it's care guidelines, new requirements, and we're building in complexity into the platform from the inside out. So each of these changes doesn't require us to update the entire system. We could do it a lot more rapidly.
I think this move is akin to NASA moving from a space shuttle launch once a year to where we are today with reusable rockets every few months. Faster, lighter, and much more responsive to what is needed in the moment. Now, before I continue, you may be wondering why I'm using so many space and NASA references. Well, that's because one of the keynotes here at NextGen's UGM was Shane Kimbrough. He's a retired NASA astronaut who flew into space on the shuttle, on a Soyuz rocket, and on SpaceX. His keynote was fascinating, and I thought it would be fun to lean into that for this summary. Now, every mission needs a flight director, and for NextGen, well, they announced that they've built one, and they named it NIA, their new multi-agent AI coordinator. I think of NIA as an air traffic controller or a kind of a mission control that helps specialized AI agents work together seamlessly. You see, NextGen envisions a world where their customers will have very narrowly focused AI agents deployed. Maybe one for RCM, another one for chart reviews, maybe one just for scheduling, one just to connect with customers on a call center. NIA is the AI supercomputer that will coordinate all of them.
Yeah, NIA is a good way, and that's a perfect way to think about it. NIA is like a team lead for a suite of agents. And so what NIA is and what NIA's strength is the ability to communicate with the user on their terms. So we serve a broad array of users. We serve providers, we serve MAs, we serve staff. We serve a broad group of people that each have a different role in providing fantastic care. And so what NIA is specifically built to do is communicate with those individuals on their terms. A provider has a different way of talking and a different set of needs than someone who's managing the schedule, someone who's processing a claim. So NIA is really an expert and a team lead that knows how to talk to then other agents that are acting on behalf of that individual in a specific domain. So as an example, we've got an RCM agent that's focused very deeply in understanding all the intricacies of RCM, all the processes, and so they're a domain expert in that. We have a chart review agent that's specifically knowledgeable about how to read and interpret a chart on the behalf of the provider or a staffer or an MA or a scribe or someone else. And so NIA is really that orchestrator that's connecting all of those other agents that have deep, deep, deep domain expertise in their individual area, so that our users have a simple way to interface and an intelligent way to interface that eases their day-to-day burdens.
Honestly, this sounds a bit like sci-fi, but it's actually happening now. NIA is the foundation of what Sims calls a multi-AI model future. Now, in his sit-down with me, he was quick to point out that AI isn't about to replace humans in all of this work that they're doing. The ethical deployment of AI is very important to him and to NextGen.
And so ethics is really about creating fairness in the world of AI and taking those extra 2, 3, and 4 steps to ask the question, especially early in the design process, what is the data that I'm using to train the AI, to build the AI, really telling it? Is the data complete? Does it represent a diverse set of information? Does it have a depth of information in each one of those diverse pools? And as a result of it, is it able to deliver an appropriate response given an individual's specific background, the specific clinical background, or the specific process background?
For many conference attendees, interoperability sessions are the parts of the agenda where your mind starts drifting to lunch or dinner. But not this time. Muhammad Chebli, VP of Product at NextGen, was part of a riveting 3-person panel that tackled info blocking, TEFCA, USCDI, and the changing regulatory landscape. It held my attention for the entire hour, truly. Now afterwards, I caught up with Chebli and asked him about whether there was an ROI for interoperability.
Oh, absolutely. I think there's so many business cases. The moment you start deciphering your problem in the practice, you think about what are the challenges any practice might have. You know, practices have challenges around no-shows. Interoperability is a way to address and resolve and help reduce the number of no-shows. How can I even make that claim? Well, if we can share data about a patient's history, where they've been seen before, what types of encounters they've had, we can engage that patient differently when we have information and knowledge about where this patient has been seen before. And so you can interoperate with tools that help you manage your no-show lists, to manage your wait time queues. And all of these things involve some kind of integration, whether it's an SMS messaging app integration or a wait list management app integration. That is interoperability. So where we used to think about interoperability just in terms of treatment use cases, provider to provider, often that question about ROI is, what's the revenue or what's the return on the investment for a provider to share a referral note? Well, some specialists, their whole business is referrals. They do not operate without having a strong referral pipeline from primary care. So you ask a specialist clinic and their case for interoperability is manifested immediately by the fact that they need those referrals from the primary care community in their neck of the woods.
One of the recent partnerships that Chebli highlighted here at NextGen's user group meeting was their collaboration with Kno2 as their chosen QHIN.
Kno2 is such a great company. They were one of the first QHINs that was approved for QHIN onboarding. And we're really excited about this relationship because Kno2 has a unique level of reach in the community. They've partnered with so many different organizations, and they've been doing interoperability really since the beginning as well. So this is a trusted partner that when we looked at all of the QHINs that we could have chosen from, this really was an easy decision. It came out to be a clear choice of just Kno2 being a strong vendor. Their communication API really provides us not just these QHIN activation services, but supports a broad range of data sharing across their entire network. So I'm really excited to bring that capability into the EHR and make it a seamless experience for our providers who today might be connecting to the care quality interface with the SureScripts record locator. A lot of that is being included and subsumed into the QHIN connection through our Kno2 partner.
Going back to the theme of ROI, I spoke with Jenna Hagan, who heads NextGen's closed-loop platform, and she showed me some incredible results that their customers have achieved with AI in the call center.
700 hours in 6 months is pretty important. And people don't realize, as a patient, access to healthcare is incredibly hard, right? And it's important to us as patients ourselves and consumers to be able to feel heard and to be able to feel like we can manage our appointment and get in an appointment. But what they don't realize is what the staff is going through on the other side. It's not that there's not care or empathy, that they don't want to answer those phones. It's that they can't. That they are resource constrained by technology or by numbers of employees or their peers. And it takes a lot of time to do that. So to be able to uplift the staff over 700 hours in just 6 months of time, that's time back to those patients that need to be speaking to them on the phone.
You heard that right. 700 hours of staff's time saved, and that's not a rounding error. I think it opens up a whole new world for clinics struggling with capacity issues right now. Now, while I was with Hagan, I also asked her about the impact AI is having on patient engagement.
AI is that good that half the time patients don't even realize they're talking to AI. You can have that empathy and that care and that tone and inflection in AI agents, which is pretty incredible. The other piece of it is the feedback that we're getting, where a patient, you can hear the recordings of like, wow, you're calling me already? I just got that paperwork over to the office. And that's really awesome to hear that feedback. And it just helps to know that you're doing the right pieces and that you're pulling it all together.
My favorite conversation here at NextGen's UGM was with a pair of their customers. Along with NextGen's Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Bob Murray, I had the chance to sit down with Dr. Derek Hamilton from Juniper Health and Kathy Halcomb from White House Clinics. Those are two Kentucky FQHCs that are using NextGen's Ambient Assist, which is their AI scribe solution. Both FQHCs described what happened when they launched it internally.
Big movement I had at Juniper was returning humanity to healthcare. Was, the patients and us as healthcare professionals were always looking for that opportunity to provide that human component back. And I found Ambient was like the first, it's almost counterintuitive, but it's a technological solution that actually produced the returning the humanity to healthcare.
I mean, the providers that are using it, what they're telling me is they're able to be with their families when they're there. It wasn't like they were there trying to get through dinner, trying to get through the sport event, knowing that they had all these charts to finish. It's like they're actually there with their families because that burden of charting is no longer hanging over their head. Now, it doesn't get rid of all of it, like you said. There's still some charting that they do, but no longer is there anybody telling me they're up until midnight trying to get their charts done, trying to be there for their kids. No longer are they saying they're charting all day on Sunday to get right back into it on Monday. So that's the biggest thing I'm hearing.
As Dr. Bob Murray put it later, happier providers mean happier patients. Maybe that should be the new law of physician dynamics. Now, of course, while I was here, I had to capture a few reactions from NextGen partners in the exhibit hall, and here are some of my favorites.
Hi, my name is Raul Yas from Preventive Healthcare. I'm here in Nashville, NextGen UGM. One of the things I've been hearing from the attendees here today is how well NextGen has been integrating AI technology in their entire platform, and everybody seems to be extremely excited about that progress.
My name is Liz Brown with Kno2, and my hot take for NextGen UGM 2025 is how great it's been meeting with all of NextGen's clients and starting to talk to them about the exciting partnership between NextGen and Kno2 and our role in the enhanced functionality within NextGen Share query functionality.
Hello, my name is Garrett, and I'm here with the SurgeonMate team here in Nashville, Tennessee at UGM. And something that we've learned this week is that there is a lot of people here in the healthcare industry excited about leveraging technology to take over for the hiring shortages that are going on across the industry.
Hi, Hi, my name's Mackenzie. I'm here with VaxCare at the NextGen UGM conference. I've really enjoyed today and throughout this week so far getting to connect with clinical users, IT teams, CEOs across the board, and it's really been neat to see how everyone is really focused on driving patient care, how we can make it better, more streamlined, and really care about the value that we're giving to our patients. It's been really neat to have those conversations with different users across the board.
Hey, this is Josh O'Brien with LK, coming to you live from the NextGen UGM show floor. I think it's been an amazing event so far. We have learned so much from all the different clients and practices that have been here, especially around interoperability, data archiving and migration. The conversations have been electric, and we're really excited to see really the partnerships continue to flourish and really what's next in store for NextGen.
I'm Rafael Arachaga. I'm CIO of Kodak Health Recovery and Wellness in Tucson, Arizona. And I came here because I had a directive from my CEO to look into pragmatic uses of AI, and I think NextGen has delivered. There's a lot of new announcements, a lot of things, and AI is very much in the forefront of just about everything that they're doing, and looks like it's going to work out.
One thing that impressed me was how much AI culture has taken hold inside NextGen itself. Jacob Sims told me that he's one of the most prolific AI users in the company by a factor of 10. But it's not just him. Every department from engineering to support to sales to marketing is experimenting with generative AI and agentic AI tools, all so they can deliver more of what their customers want. Sri Velamoor, in his opening keynote, said many times that they are adding more boost to their AI initiatives so that practices can have the functionality they need to succeed in today's tough healthcare environment. That sentiment was echoed by every single NextGen employee that I spoke to in the hallways here. Now that the UGM is over, I find myself thinking back to one of the lines delivered by Velamoor in his keynote. He said, and I quote, "NextGen is here to help its customers achieve escape velocity." In the hallways, in the exhibit hall, and just all around this venue, there was a definite lift in the mood of the audience after Sri said that. Attendees could go to the exhibit hall and get a live demonstration of Nia, and all of them walked away smiling and chatting excitedly. But I think Laura Miller from TempDev, one of NextGen's partners, said it best.
Hi, I'm Laura Miller, the CEO of TempDev. My hot take for NextGen UGM is that NextGen as a tech company is here. We were so excited to listen to the keynote, and also the new logo was amazing. It looked like a real tech company, and all of the exciting new replatforming and everything else that NextGen has to offer, I think it, to me, is like one of the first big refreshes that I'm super excited about.
Overall, I have to say I am very impressed with where NextGen is going. And not just because they have a new brand coming soon. By the way, more details on that in an upcoming Sway Health interview. But because their platform is getting a big boost from their investment in AI that I've seen over the last few years. The company's trajectory is very clear. Faster innovation, smarter systems, all delivering more human care. The countdown has already started, and if they keep up this pace, they might, just might, achieve warp speed before HIMSS in 2026. I want to thank NextGen for inviting us down to their event and for giving us completely unfettered access while we were here on site. Shout out to Angeli Bright and Hannah Duggar and the rest of the NextGen team. I hope to attend again next year. I'm Colin Hung. Thanks for watching this, and I'll catch you on the next video.